Hey guys, what is up? What is up? Welcome to the Pick and Roll Podcast, episode number 95. 95, and I'm here with my guy Nicky Stees, who's honestly been with me in the Pick and Roll since the beginning. I think he started on episode 3. Am I right?
Somewhere along those lines. He
I,
he he.
I
Happy
like those
Halloween
glasses.
Eve.
I
Hee
like those
hee.
glasses, dude. They're nice.
Tonight's gonna be a thriller night. All right.
All right, so we got basketball to talk about. We got people in the chat here. We got Vic, Arku, Daniel. Everybody's in the chat here. And Blaze got a new member, so whenever Blaze comes in, so that will be right there as well. Mavs and Thunder are looking good. Dude, is there any shocks about the NBA right now, Nikki, before we actually get started with the show? Anything you're like shocked about, like a certain team or whatever?
I mean, not yet. It's still a little early. Everyone's still feeling their groove. I mean, the Lakers. I mean, the nice 3-0 start with they're winning their first three, but at the same time,
Right.
this is the early NBA season. I want to see if the Lakers keep this thing going throughout the season.
Uh-huh.
Because
I
at this
agree with
point,
that.
expectations aren't as high as they usually are. But to be fair, they still have decent pieces around them. Rui Hachimura, you still have AD, you still have LeBron. They still have a decent team. But I don't see
Yeah.
them as contenders, especially out west. Maybe if, like, say the East were the stronger conference, then maybe they'd have a shot. But not in this case with you still have the Timberwolves, Mavs, Nuggets as top teams.
Mm-hmm.
But I still think the Lakers are going to be a good team as long as all their pieces stay healthy, just not contenders.
I agree with that. I agree with that. And this is
So,
just, like Lonzo Ball getting injured again.
oh my
He's at
gosh.
his bruised wrist. I mean, oh my God. At least he's playing though. That's all I can say. JJ Redick, he's coaching unbelievably. He's the best coach right now. Anywho, let's get this started. What is up, A? What is up, Albert? How's it going, man? How's it going? Let's just get started with Rudy Gay, man. Rudy Gay announced his retirement. So how do you feel about this? Because for his career stats and all those teams he played for, he averaged 16 points per game, 6 boards, 2 assists, shot 45% from the field, 35% from three, 80% from the free throw line. Yep. So what do you have to say about Rudy Gay, man?
I mean, he had an interesting career. For a guy that didn't make any All-Star games, he's one of the better players not to do so. And you think about it, you're like, yeah, the guy was not a superstar. He didn't officially make an All-Star game. But if you look at some of those seasons, particularly year 2 with the Grizzlies, he had a solid effort that season. That was kind of his breakout year
Yeah.
right there. Yeah, and that was 20.1 points. Solid all-around effort. I mean, you look at he was averaging about between 18 to 20 a game for most of his career. That's pretty respectable for a guy who didn't make an All-Star game. I mean, if you're going to have a role player on your team, that's the type of role player you want on offense that can score you points and take some of the weight off the stars a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
he certainly had a respectable career for sure. I mean,
How's it
sometimes
going,
we get
boys?
caught up in praising people for championships and MVP awards and All-Star game appearances. And yes, those are big parts of the game, but the role players can be a key factor as well. And Rudy Gay throughout his career was consistently a good role player for teams. So if you're looking for someone in the modern era or like through our lifetime, like me and Mitch, who fits that mold of being a good role player, Rudy Gay is one example of that. I think Kyle Lowry in his younger years was a good example. Or, or even, what's his name?
Yeah.
Rajon Rondo at his peak was a good example of a role player.
I'm gonna say this once. Why couldn't Rudy Gay play with Grady Dick? I'm just sorry. Why couldn't that been an option just 1 year, please? But Blaze, how you think going, bro?
Good, good.
Anything you got to say about Rudy Gay or no?
Good, consistent player, good shooter. I mean, you couldn't. I mean, if you're going to ask for a good, solid career, I mean, like you guys were just saying, doesn't always have to be championships. If you can stay there that long and play with that many teams and average that many points, that's pretty damn impressive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. He's been on like what 7 teams, 8. This guy was the definition of a journeyman too. Memphis, Toronto, Sacramento, Utah. 4 teams. Yeah,
And the
thought it was cool.
Spurs.
Oh yeah, Spurs too. Yep. Sacramento, Spurs. Yep. So yeah, yeah. About all that for Rudy Gay. Congrats on a good career, solid career. Wonder what's next for him. But anywho, let's get started with I'm guessing everyone saw the Dwayne Wade statue.
Yeah.
Blaze, you got anything to say about that or no?
It's. I'm not a big statue person. I mean, it's
I'm
your
not
own,
either. I just find it funny.
it's your own preference. I have a personal preference of what statues should be, and as much as I love sports and stuff, I don't worship any of these human beings like that they need a statue. I think that money can be
Right.
put to better use than to have a statue. And this is the same guy took a picture next to the Stargell statue in Pittsburgh and the Franco statue at the airport and stuff like that. So it's not like I'm just not a big guy about it. I mean, I don't understand how they can mess up your face that bad.
Right?
I mean, it's
Here, I'm
just,
gonna pull it up. Yeah.
and he even, I mean, now all the memes with today's world, they're just going to take that and put it all over the place. The best one was the Han Solo frozen in carbonite with the face of Dwayne Wade from the statue. And it's people are very creative with stuff. You got to watch what you put out there. And
Right.
if you're Dwayne Wade, I kind of put this on him. I mean, they showed him, interviewed him approving this as and he tried to justify it doesn't have to look like me. It's just the artist's impression of me. And I'm like, no, it's supposed to look like you, dude. It's a statue of you that looks nothing like. If it didn't have Miami #3 on there, I think it's freaking Boogie Cousins. I don't know.
Remember the Iverson statue?
Yeah,
Oh,
that one
yeah.
too. Look like a little kid. I mean, it's like, why? We don't need statues. We really don't. I really don't. If they want to put a plaque of somebody up or something like that to honor them, I get it. But these are just, I mean, to be that bad too, it's like, how much did that cost? That's what I want to know. And how many people could it feed?
Yeah, and I also saw another meme of a Dark Seeker from I Am Legend and Dwayne Wade.
Yeah, it's just
implying that he looks like one of the Dark Seekers from I Am Legend.
I understand it's not like something you could just press a button and change. So if they like bring you in and be like, okay, Mitch, here's your statue. We're going to unveil it tomorrow. What do you say? Nah, let's not do a statue. I don't like it. What are you going to say when it's already made? Someone put hours into it to design it. I mean, they must have been smoking crack or something when they did his face, or it looks like he's taking a big deuce. I don't know, like trying to squeeze out a turd or something. That's horrendous. It's like, I don't know who to put it on. I mean, I'd rather not just discuss statues because it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
What's up, Temple?
Who do you think needs a statue?
Nobody. There's no sports as much as look around me of anybody that likes sports. You think I like sports looking around me? I kind of like sports. You think?
Yeah.
I don't think anyone should get a statue. I have little mini statues right here. They're called figurines. They're called collectibles, starting lineup, stuff like that. That should be fine. I mean, it's such a process too to get something made like that. And then what if it looks like that? It's like, do you want that representing you?
Right.
Like what's the football player that they put it wasn't even a statue. It was just like a wire thing inside of a case and in one of the stadiums. And that was there. It was was it Washington? For what's his name? Their D-back? I forget who it was, but it was the Darryl Green or somebody.
Yeah,
it was the dumbest little statue. It wasn't even a statue. It was just like something you'd see at like a department store showing off clothes and stuff that it's hanging on. It was just we don't need statues. No.
Looks like a person from Uncle Drew basketball movie. I like that movie. I actually did.
It's a good example for why they should not do statues.
Oh, he's getting a video tonight.
So I'm not against honoring players like that, though. I'm not against honoring players, but it's just like, is a statue really? Let's sit down and really think about it. Do you really need a statue? I mean, if there's a big mural of that player, you can still get a picture by that. And that's people say, "Oh, I want to stand by the statue, get a picture." Dirt, dirt, dirt. Is that, you
The
stand by.
Philly statue.
Yeah,
There's
it's
one.
like I said, I get it. I have pictures of me in front of statues. When I went to Chicago, you go down to the pier, there's statues. Go stand by one, get a picture. I get it.
Yeah.
But it's like
The Rocky statue is better than all.
We're actually playing basketball now. We've been digging for stuff to talk about for months. Let's move on with the statue talk.
Good idea.
I thought you were going to talk about Joe Mazzulla and what he said. Joe Mazzulla saying that there should be fighting in basketball now, and they should have a power play in basketball.
Oh.
And that.
I mean, I'm up for like innovation of rules. I'm not against the evolution of the game.
I'm not against that.
Like
Like,
old
really,
school as
I
that
am
can be,
not.
but then it's like, how do you do it? How do you regulate it? You're gonna have a guy standing in the middle of the court for 3 seconds because he's in penalty. He's supposed to be in a fake penalty box.
No, there will be
That
like
was one.
something
That was one of the things that did to stand at half court in a circle until it's over. There was a bunch of ideas thrown around.
No, the scores table. Just go to the scores
There's a
table.
bunch of ideas thrown around on how they would do that. But I mean, I get it. There's other sports that do it, but to allow fighting is dumb as hell too. That's just ridiculous. I mean, we're talking about the days of CTE, and that's friggin' assault. Like those morons at the Yankee game that ripped the ball out of the dude's hand in the stands. Like, come on, people. We don't need that. It's just ridiculous.
How do you feel about your fantasy team right now?
I know Melo's getting his ass beat so far this week with my team. I'm up by 300 points on him almost.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's a long season for fantasy basketball. It's like you gotta pace yourself. You gotta make sure you check the the app every day for lineup changes.
Yeah,
Nick
is in first. I'm in second right now.
But I'm in for the long haul, so you check with me when it's after the All-Star break on fantasy.
Yeah, we'll do a checkup
then,
like
then
after
we'll see
All-Star
where
break.
we're at.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that 1,000%.
Oh, it's Nick versus Nick this week in fantasy, huh? That's what Nick says in the chat.
Yeah.
The battle of the
Nick
Nicks.
versus Nicky.
Nicky and Nick. Uh-oh.
I got Nick. Wait, Nick versus Nick. I got Nick.
Yeah, ha ha ha.
I had to, dude. I had to.
Versus Caruso.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, you know who's actually been on fire as of late? Ant-Man is one of them after last night. I made this thing before the games last night, and I'm like, damn it. But, yeah, Ant-Man has been on fire. Paolo Banchero put up, like, what, a dang near 50-point triple-double?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my living God. Basketball's back.
That's what you got to see from somebody who wants to be a megastar. When you be in the top of your game, you got to start putting up them games. I mean, I'm not saying you have to pad your stats and stuff like that. I'm just saying play your best. And if you're starting to have those out of this world type of games, then you get in that conversation. Like those last year. I mean, we saw Maxey do it a couple games with those 50-pointers. We saw 70, it's 50 points from here and this guy and that guy. It's not necessarily points only, too. Like you're saying, that's a triple-double dude dropped. And it's like, that's what you want to see. You want to see. That's why I value triple-doubles so much, because you're not only scoring or shooting 50 times to get 30 points or whatever, but you're either helping your team in rebounding or giving assists to help them score. So that's why triple-double is an amazing stat.
Yeah. I mean, like I said before, the Orlando Magic were my team to watch because of Banchero. I had a feeling he would take a leap, but not this quick. Not this quick. Dang. I'm actually streaming Cavs versus Magic on Friday. So that'll be a good game to watch. Very good game. Yeah, Jordan Hawkins is playing well as of late for the Pelicans. You can just name players that are playing well right now. Look at Maxey. He got 45 points in the overtime victory against the Indiana Pacers. In the second half, mostly, because the first half he stunk. So, it's just like, you can just pick any players here. Like, any. Nicky, who stood out to you besides Banchero?
You had Kyrie yesterday, had a good performance as well. Dropped 33. And you also had surprise Buddy Hield in a different situation with the Warriors.
Yes.
Himself 7 threes and 28 points.
Can I have Buddy Hield back?
in the right. I mean, it must not have been the right situation here. It's a different scheme, different coaching, different play sets and stuff, and it's working out for him. Good for him. I liked
Yeah.
when the Sixers got him last year, but they just didn't utilize him well enough.
That was
And
Nick Nurse for you.
And when he did get the opportunity, he didn't have those type of games for the Sixers last year. I mean, he had some decent ones, but he didn't like. But we know he is the type that can put up those type of numbers on any given day.
Yeah. I mean, he did the last game for us. We got eliminated, but the last game, and then Nick Nurse took him out. I was like, Nick Nurse, what are you doing here, man? Like, dang.
You want Doc Rivers back?
No. The Bucks are 1-3 now. Or yeah, they're 1-3.
That's a bunch of bull jive and baloney.
Yeah, I did. But I just find it funny. Yeah. I'm trying to think of anyone else.
It's another proof that putting three names together doesn't always make a big three.
What do you mean? The Suns?
Bucks. I mean, injuries have been a part of it too, but
Big three. They got Giannis and Dame. Oh, Middleton, I guess. Yeah.
you can consider him. He's been an all-star and stuff.
Yeah, I forgot about Middleton. He's their
It doesn't always
closer.
work. Just because you're an all-star doesn't mean you're going to work well with certain players. You got to be really picky when you're trying to put together these superstars together. It makes a difference.
I mean, look at the Sixers, right? They're dealing with Embiid, Paul George, Maxey.
I know
don't
you've
even-
done videos on it. I'm so frustrated with it. It's hard for me to even talk about it right now. To have a team constructed in the offseason like that, and then they're pulling this. I mean, I get it. I've heard the explanation. I've heard the damn management bullshit and all that. And you want him for the rest of the season. So we're going to I don't know. It's very frustrating. Because I think there's a reason it's 82 game season, because they believe people should be able to play 82 games.
Right.
Or else it wouldn't be an 82 game season. And I just feel bad for, that kid who loves Embiid and always wanted to watch him, gets the ticket for a game, goes, and it's a rest game. So he doesn't get to see his favorite player play. So I see it on that side too. It's just frustrating. We talked about the other night when Paul George gets hurt, you can't really do much about that.
Yeah,
No.
and
But it's
Vanessa said that's one of the reasons Kobe always played, not to disappoint that one kid that always wanted to see Kobe play.
And that comes along with it, man. To me, that comes along with it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's frustrating. I mean, now I know how the Suns felt last year with their start. They had all that momentum. They got, stars to play off of now. Everyone's watching them. They're going to make a run for it. And then the big three, they had never got to play together. And when they did, when it was all three, they weren't, they didn't have enough time playing together. Do you really think Paul George, Embiid, and Maxey have enough time playing together?
They're going to play around 30 games.
I mean, that's
together.
Ridiculous to not even play half of your games with your three stars.
Right.
I'm sorry. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree.
It's not really
1,000%. I agree.
And I mean, two things are going to come of this. They don't go anywhere, and Embiid's gone. This is the final straw. They don't go anywhere this year. Embiid's gone. You got to restructure. You got to do something else. It's not working.
This is why I keep on saying this, to have Maxey be the number one and have Embiid be the two. That is, you got to prepare. So why not have Maxey be the number one option? I mean, he dropped 45.
I mean, it's like, how can you be an Embiid fan when you don't get to see him play? Whether it's a sit or an injury, can we really say we've seen a career from him? It can't.
He won one MVP.
I mean, it's
because they couldn't give it to Giannis or Jokic because of Schroeder's fatigue. That's basically it.
And you know how I am about that type of stuff, but it's just it doesn't make sense to me. I mean, it does make sense. I understand why they do it, so it does make sense. But it's very frustrating to have arguably the best offseason and never get to see that team play together.
This is why I did not want a super team in the first place. This is why. I'm like, you don't need a win with the super team. Look at what Denver did. Look what Milwaukee did. Now you put us, we get a big three. I mean, now
I really personally don't consider him a big three. I know Paul George is really good and all that, but I don't consider him on the level to make a big. My idea of a big three has raised. My big three, because of how many teams have it now and everything, you can't just throw three all-stars together and call it a big three. That's not good enough for me. That's just my preference. So you throw someone who's at the tail end of their career onto somewhere, doesn't make him a big three. Chris Paul cannot be in a big three with Wemby and whoever they want to. He can't be.
No.
He's
No.
on the tail end of his career. He's there. He could be very valuable. But that's the same thing I look at Paul George. I did not look at Paul George as a guy that's going to come in here and take them to the promised land and lead them in any
Right.
capacity. Just someone who can be a consistent, solid, decent player that they're not falling off so much when they don't have Embiid. And that's terrible to even think that way. Why do we have a fan base have to think that way?
Who's a super team now in your eyes? In your eyes, who's a super team right now?
It's more of a, if I'm going to say super team, it's more of what you just said. It's the Nuggets and the Celtics of the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Those are super teams because they're built throughout the roster. You have the stars, you have the role players, you have the sparks off the bench, you have the big guys, you have the defenders. That's a full team now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say because Bradley Beal's performance.
I was not going to say Phoenix. I was not going to say Phoenix.
Now, if Beal would have scored 25 a game last year right off the bat and didn't get hurt and played through, and maybe they lost in the Western Finals or something, then I would say they're a big three because they could be. If you look at the money end, it looks like they're a big three. But if you're going to tell me a big three, it better be all NBA players. Let's put it that way. The first three teams, all be NBA 1, 2, or 3.
Yeah.
If you're talking someone who just made the All-Star team, yes, that's elite, but we have to make a big three elite. We can't make it a standard.
Right.
So the standard has to be raised now. If you're talking about a big three, Paul George is not a big three to me. Bradley Beal is not a big three to me. There should only be 2 or 3 big threes in the league, if any.
You know who's one upcoming big three? OKC. You got Chet, SGA, Jalen Williams. There's your upcoming big three.
And Jalen Williams is really good, but I don't put him in that competition.
No. Oh, I said upcoming.
Yeah,
I mean,
but that's
for the
what
future.
I mean. They would be 2. They would be not. Actually, they'd probably only be 1 with SGA because Chet's only done it for a year or so. Like, I want big threes to be elite. If it's going to be big, otherwise it's just a 3. That's what I'm trying to say. The level of competition is so.
I mean, look at the Lakers
now.
before. The Lakers didn't really have a big three, right? I mean, they only had LeBron and AD.
No, you need 2. That's all you need is 2 super duper stars and good role players. No, OG is not a big 3.
OG, no.
No,
He's
he's one of my favorite players too. It's just I'm going to be real.
He's in the same category as Embiid. He's in the same category.
I'm talking about players that are all NBA, first, second, or third team. I mean, that's the top 15 players in the league. If you're not in the top 15 players, you're a big 2, or you're just a superstar, which is fine. If you have the rest of your team's fantastic and your bench is deep, then it doesn't. Then you don't need a big 2 or 3. So the need for that has gone too, because, like I said, look at the Nuggets, look at the Celtics. They have a superstar. They also have depth. They have defense.
D'Lo, no. D'Lo, no. D'Lo's
No.
not a top 15 player, no.
No, and that's what I mean. The bar has to raise. So some people, they might not want to. This is just my take on this.
Yeah, I know.
Some people might just say, hey, if you're an all-star, that's a big 3. That's fine if people want to believe that way. I want it to be an elite thing. I want it to be a rarity. And most of them, if you look at them, there's only 2s.
Could you imagine if the Sacramento Kings kept Halliburton? If they had Halliburton and Fox?
See, I don't know. Maybe he wouldn't have developed like he did if he was still there. Who knows? It's tough to say.
I know,
I get
but I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I mean, with the Mavs, you got Luka and Kyrie. That's basically it.
You could say the same thing with Jalen Brunson and the Mavs as well.
It doesn't matter if they drafted the guy or traded for the guy or how they acquired.
It doesn't matter how they got on the team. It doesn't matter.
That doesn't matter to me. You're just talking about a big 3. You're talking about 3 mega stars, in my opinion.
In my opinion.
And I get where Blaze is coming from, because you could look at a lot of the teams that were labeled big 3s but came nowhere near that. Like the OKC Thunder with Ross, Carmelo, and Paul George. They theoretically were a big 3, but they were only a playoff team at most.
Yeah.
Get past the first round. That would tie into Blaze's point. That's a helicopter flying over.
I can see Boston with that big 3. I can see it. With that, I can see.
You could argue for Holiday. I mean, he was on the damn.
You can argue,
Olympic team, but I don't think he's not a top 15 player. I don't think He's right
No,
outside
but
of
you
it.
can make a case. You can
Yeah,
make a case
yeah.
for that one.
Well, they're the champs too, so you can't really knock them for anything.
Melo. Carmelo?
I think he's talking about Carmelo with the Thunder.
Oh,
Remember, I gave that example.
right.
And Paul
So,
George and Russ.
yeah, I'm trying to. You could
Like
say
another-
Milwaukee.
Like another example going back years was supposedly Steve Nash, Amari Stoudemire, and Sean Merriam, but you couldn't. That's not really much of a big three. Some people may have considered them, but they really weren't.
No, the point is, 3 superstars is not always the answer.
No.
And
It's
a lot
not.
of times it doesn't work out. They don't mesh. They don't work together. They're not good in that system, whatever it may be. There's so much variables that come into play when you're talking about that stuff. And yes, sometimes you take, and I've said it a million times on this show, you take someone out of one scenario and onto a different team, whether it's the coach or the system or the other players on that team, and you can see a completely different player.
Look at Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Look at Milwaukee right now. Glenn Rivers.
A lot of times you're in the wrong situation. But I mean, let's be real. He's not doing well there. He is the type of coach that if you put him in a different situation, he might take a team to far in the playoffs. That too. It really could happen because he's done it before.
I'll believe it when I see it. I mean, he did that with that Boston team.
He wouldn't be a
That
coach.
was the
Right?
super team.
Yeah, if
That was the
wouldn't,
super team.
I'm just saying.
Yep. I love how you call him. Well, yeah, I have to call him by his first name. I'm not calling him the other name. 1 year PG was. Yeah, he was. He was. What year was that? Was that for what, last year with the Clippers, or are you talking about the Thunder? Well, we can have this conversation all day. It's still going on and on and on. But if you guys were watching my live stream yesterday, I was reacting to a video from Sitting Courtside YouTube channel. Go check them out. Great 2 guys. I love their work. They had their rankings of like the top 5 players who have the most pressure to get to the finals to win a championship. So we're going to do top 3. We're going to give our 3, or who do you think has the most pressure to win a championship? So, Blaze, I'm assuming you're going to want to go last on this one?
No, it doesn't matter. But I also look at this question in 2 different ways.
Yeah.
Because I look at it as, does a player have pressure to win the championship because he doesn't already have one, and he should because he's a superstar? Or does a player have pressure on him to get a championship because he's on a great team and they're expected to win one? So I could look at it 2 different ways. You look at it from players who never held a championship, and then you can look at it as players who are on a team that should compete. So I mean, I'll just go with my 3 is it's clear as day. It's Lillard, because I think he never won one in Portland. Now he's in Milwaukee hoping to win one. It's Luka. He got close as hell last year. So I think he's in the running that there's pressure on them to go back and prove that they can do it. Plus Kyrie's not getting any younger. And it's freaking Embiid. He's number 1 by far because of the potential and because of exactly what we've been talking about, that now they got to make such drastic measures like not playing him half of the fucking season to try to have him healthy at the end, which is ridiculous to me. But because of his level of talent, they have to accommodate because he's that damn good. He is elite. So I would have those 2. But I mean, if you talk about teams, it's like Celtics, Nuggets. Those teams should have the most pressure to win too because they're the best teams out there. OKC, they were, look what they did last year. There's pressure on them to repeat, have the best record in the West, or else what are you doing? Every year people think if you don't make it to the championship and win it, it's a bust, which isn't true. You take a team like Houston last year, didn't do well, and they did a lot better, more than they expected. You can have successful seasons. I mean, you got to put it in perspective. Only one team wins a championship.
Right.
But I get some people that say LeBron or KD or Giannis need to win championships too. But is there really pressure on them? They already have titles.
I'm not counting those 3.
So I think there's more pressure on players who don't already have a ring, I guess is where I'm going with it.
I'm with you on that. I'm with you.
There's still pressure on the other ones, but it's for a different reason. Maybe because their team's expected to go or whatnot. Or because they, like LeBron, he's taken so many teams that they expect him to go. So pressure's on him because it's been a while, or whatever.
All right. So I'm going to give mine, and then Nikki, he will go after me. So first, because when I saw this in the video, I really liked this pick, but Blaze, you were like hesitant, and that was Devin Booker. Because look at the team he started out with to where he is now. So for me, it's Devin Booker, man. Like he needs more respect. So if he gets that ring, I'm with it. I know you're against that. You were
No, I think it would. I think I definitely agree with your explanation. Why? Because Booker winning a title puts him up where he should be because he is that damn talented. And I'm
Yeah.
not just a fan of him because he's a Kentucky guy, but that
I
is one
knew
of the
you were going to
reasons.
bring that up. I knew you were going to bring
But
that
I
up.
had to. But you know, to me, if who's got more pressure, it's KD on that team has more pressure to win the title than Booker. Booker is not. I mean, a lot of people are saying it's Booker's team, which it should be because we're in the middle of that. Is it Ant's team? Was it Cat's? Is it Maxi's? Is it Embiid's? You know, is it Brunson's or is it Cat? You know, it doesn't. You know, I don't want to get too deep into that branch of it, but I think more pressure would be on the head guy, which would be KD, who's won it before.
Yeah.
Booker doesn't have a ring. So, but then my philosophy should be reversed where KD has a ring. More pressure should be on Booker because he doesn't, right?
That's where my philosophy is. That's why I have Booker there.
Because you know it takes a player, it elevates a player's career if they have that ring. We all know that.
And honestly, this one might shock you. I think you guys might like this one. Ja Morant. I really think Ja Morant is for the pressure, not just because with the with everything off the court stuff, but you look on the court with the team he's got now and him leading the way. Ja Morant's mine too. You can throw Zion in that conversation as well, but I'm not going to put Zion.
I love both of those players, so I wouldn't argue with either of those.
Yeah,
and it's like who benefits more? Who benefits more? KD if they win, or Booker. Booker, I guess if you look at it that way, Booker would benefit more from winning a championship because he doesn't have one where KD does.
So my 3, Russell Westbrook. I really think Russell Westbrook, because he's hopping team to team. He can't find like a spot where he's good at, and he's due for something because he's got like the most triple doubles of all time. He's got a finals appearance with the Thunder with KD and Harden, so he does have pressure on him. So my 3rd one is Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, I can see that. There's good. I mean, with a segment like this, as long as you got like reasoning behind it, there's a million answers. That's
exactly.
Good. I like them.
Yeah. Nikki, what about you?
My 3. So I will start with Embiid because he's been there. He's been there like really 9 seasons because he didn't play his first 2 seasons. Because he would have been 11 seasons, like had he played those first 2. But long story short, he's been an all-star for the Sixers for majority of those seasons. He's won an MVP, but he hasn't been able to do anything big in the playoffs. He's never gotten past the second round. So in other words, he's never even had a conference finals or even a finals appearance, let alone a finals win.
Mm-hmm.
And he's supposed to be one of the elite players. And they're at that point now where there's so many questions about him in the long term. Can he stay healthy? Is he durable enough? Can the Sixers actually be contenders with a player like Joel Embiid? Is he just going to be one of those great statistical players? All these different questions puts a lot of pressure on him to actually win a championship and prove all the naysayers, including the ones in the Philadelphia fan base, wrong. So there's a lot of pressure. And with the talk of possibly leaning to Maxey being the number 1 guy, that amplifies that pressure even more for Embiid to get on the court and help lead this team to a championship.
Okay.
And I was thinking about Ja Morant, but I feel like the pressure for him is more to prove that he can keep himself clean behavior-wise at this point than it is to win a championship. Like, I feel once he gets past that first hurdle of proving he can keep himself clean, then the expectations for a championship will be higher. But what I will go with is Luka for obvious reasons, as Blaze pointed to. You got to the finals last year, but you just couldn't get the win. You're trying to become the next face league. You want to be the first European player to be the face of the NBA. The best way to do that is to win a championship, to put yourself in that tier. So there's a lot of pressure on him for that one right there. If they feel that he's really out of all the European stars, the most marketable to potentially be the next face of the league, you can also cement that and cement his marketability by winning a championship and even winning a Finals MVP.
Okay.
The last one I was kind of leaning multiple ways, but I'm actually going to go with Anthony Edwards, and the reason why is because of the way he's been conducting himself, not necessarily causing trouble, but he's just been talking a lot of smack, acting like he's this big know-it-all of everything. You act like this big know-it-all, but you haven't won a championship yet. You got the Timberwolves to a conference finals last year. That's nice, but you got to follow up on that. You got to get them to a finals for the first time in their franchise history, possibly even win a finals. So there's some pressure mounting on Anthony Edwards to actually back up all his trash talking and be that guy. Be the guy that he's hyped up to be.
I really like that pick. I was thinking about doing or picking Anthony Edwards.
Wait. Is that Dark Lumen? Wait. Is that Dark Lumen? Wait. Is it?
Yes. If Anthony Edwards is a good pick. I was thinking about that, but he's only been in the league for like how many years now? 2, 3? How many years has he been in the league? I'm actually curious.
4 or something.
4?
Max 20 was his first year, I believe.
2021, 2020,
So,
2022.
Anthony Edwards like 3 or 4 years. Got it.
2025.
Yeah, I thought it would be too soon for Anthony Edwards, just like how I didn't put LaMelo Ball there. Just so, I mean, LaMelo Ball, you could make a case. 4th season? All right, thank you.
He said ball.
Yeah. And speaking of that, his brother got injured again.
He said ball.
I did. Yeah, I did. I know what you're saying. Has Anthony Edwards played more games than Embiid? I don't even know. That's actually a good question. Like in his career, that's a good question because think about this. Embiid missed the first 2 years of his career, so. You right, Blaze? Okay.
Okay.
Alrighty then. All right, let's go to the predictions for the games tonight. Unless you guys want to bring anything else up.
Guess how many home teams won last week?
All of them.
2!
Oh.
2 out of 10 games last week. So I took all the home teams. Wait, I did take one away team. I forget which one.
I forget, right, but you did take one away. Yeah. If you guys.
All away teams.
Yeah, I'm not. You can do that whenever you want.
I'll
You can
all
actually
home teams again.
home or away. Make up your mind.
Home.
Because you want to go home.
We'll go home away, home away, home away, home away.
Okay. And then we'll let's go here. I gotta bring it up.
Where are we going?
We're going home.
In a way.
In a way, yeah.
Up and away.
Here we go. We got the Raptors at Charlotte. Not exactly the best games, but
hey, LaMelo's on fire. He's averaging over 30 points a game. Give me Charlotte.
yeah. You're gonna take all the home teams. I agree, though. LaMelo. Nikki.
I'll take the Hornets.
Okay. Lakers at the Cavs. I'm going Lakers.
Bronny James.
Yeah, Ronnie's playing, so I'm going Lakers.
Cavs.
Okay. Nikki.
I'll take the Cavs.
Celtics at the Pacers. I'm going Boston.
I'm sick of Boston. I'm getting to the point where I'm sick of them now. Like, I know I was joking.
It's only been 4 games.
2 weeks ago or a week ago, I was joking. I'm going to be a Celtics fan now because I'm tired of this BS. I was joking around, but no, I'm tired of the Celtics. I don't think they're as good as they think they are. Same thing with the Knicks. Piss on them both. Let's do it that way. How about that?
Okay.
Indiana, it's time for you to step up and beat Boston. So I'm pulling for Indiana.
Okay. Nikki.
I'll go with the Celtics.
All right. Pistons at Sixers. I'm going Philadelphia.
Yeah, Sixers.
Blaze. I know what you were trying to do. I got rid of it.
You dick.
I got rid of it. So, ha ha. So, who
In
you
the
going
words of
with?
Sean Penn.
Sixers.
Okay. Atlanta at Washington. Ugh. Give me Atlanta. Blaze, who you got?
Washington.
So you're gonna go
Washington.
for Washington because of the locker room?
No, because their favorite player is Orange Cassidy, just like yours.
Orange Cassidy is awesome.
Gee, I wonder why you did that.
I
Bruh,
know.
that one's gone. But
But I mean, it's the homecoming. It's the revenge game for Tobias. So you got to watch out for him. I mean, it's the above. The one we were talking about, Philly and Detroit. And you
Yeah.
know, Mitch loves Tobias.
I think it's Tobias Harris. That's the guy for me.
get that off of my
I
screen.
think it's Tobias Harris. That's the guy for me.
Can I piss you off
I
that
think it's Tobias.
you had to do that?
That's the guy for me. That one's so much better than the Orange Cassidy one, in my opinion.
I actually agree because it's more. Why is it more clear than the other one?
I don't know. I think I took that up with my phone or some shit.
That's because when I saw that one back the first time, I'm like, how
At
is
least
that one
Tobias
better than the
Harris-
other?
You can tell it's strung together, but it's so funny. That's the guy for me.
It's a long story for that one, guys. It's a long
I just want to
story.
make a song from that now.
You can
Put a
actually.
little beat behind it.
Knowing you can.
Yeah. Oh, I definitely can. I took someone snoring and made a song out of it once. Used that
How?
as the bass line, as the snoring, and then I interviewed him while he was snoring.
Really?
Yeah. I could easily make a beat out of this.
I
Listen.
think it's Tobias Harris. That's the guy for me.
I think it's Tobias Harris. That's the
I
guy.
think it's Tobias Harris. That's
Do you have anything else to do with your life?
Pick home teams.
I'm not going to be mad as hell. I'm just going to laugh.
No, you don't have no.
Mitch,
There's
if
nothing
you
to be
had to
mad
bring
about.
Paul, I'm bringing Paul Reed back. I'm bringing Paul Reed.
I don't want
alright.
either one.
I'll take Paul Reed.
I
over
like that
Tobias.
the Sixers switched it up and only kept 5 players and made a bunch of great moves. I just want to see them all play together.
Yeah. So Blaze, who you got? Atlanta or Washington?
I think I said Washington,
Okay.
home team.
Knicks at Miami. I'm going Miami.
Miami, screw the Knicks. They're
I'll
fake.
go Hawks.
Fraud.
Hawks. You mean Knicks
Hawks
and Miami?
and Wiz. I didn't make that pick yet.
Oh,
I didn't
okay.
pick that one, Mitch. You skipped him. Shame on you.
Shame on me. Yep. Who you got, Nikki? Then make your next two.
All right, so I already said Hawks of the Wizards. Now Knicks and Heat. I'll take the Knicks.
Okay. Orlando at Chicago. I got Orlando.
Boo zealous.
Jealous. You're
Who's
gonna
that?
play him in fantasy?
Nah, he's not doing nothing yet. He's only scoring like 2 points a game or some shit. He's
Yeah.
a kid. He's not gonna get his time yet. He's gonna take a while.
Nikki, who you got?
The Magic.
So
Okay.
Dingle balls. I mean, Dillingham, Dingleberries, whatever.
Brooklyn or Memphis? I got Memphis.
Memphis. Sorry, MIG. And you're
Oh
next.
my God! Did you see
I
Ben
got
Ben
Simmons?
Simmons,
had a-
baby. Yeah, he's killing it. Go,
Uh,
killing it. Fire, Ben Simmons. I told you he's coming back on fire. He's gonna get hurt better than he's ever been hurt before. This is gonna be his best injury season ever. He's gonna sit on the bench like he's never sat on the bench before. Go, Ben Simmons. Show him how to sit on the bench and get hurt.
All right,
He does
Nikki,
best.
who you got?
I got the Grizzlies over the Nets. And
Yeah.
then Thunder over the Spurs.
I got Thunder over the Spurs.
Thunder. Da-na-na-na-na-na. Thunder.
I got Golden State over New Orleans.
Me too. I'll take Golden State. Screw it. Isn't Curry hurt right now though?
Yeah.
So Curry's
Portland
out.
at the Clippers. I got Portland.
Portland Clippers. I got the Portland Clippers.
You just don't want the Clippers because they got your favorite player.
I don't want either one of those teams to win. I guess. I mean, okay, that'll be my one away team. Portland.
Why don't you want Portland to win?
I don't like either team. LA, actually, no, they don't have. Well, is Harden still playing? Yeah, he's the only one playing out of those guys from last year.
So why don't you like Portland? I never knew
They're
this.
boring, man. They're just nothing excites me.
Boring.
My entire life, Portland Trail boring. Clyde Drexler, Jerome Kersey. Clyde Drexler was the only exciting thing in the history of the Portland Trailblazers. I mean, they've had great players, don't get me wrong, but I feel bad for him. That's why I was like, Dame, get the fuck out of there a couple years ago. I was like, you're doomed there. I hold it back all the time. I don't say it. I'm not really that negative, but fuck the Celtics, fuck the Knicks, and give a rat's ass about the Trailblazers. What the hell have they done?
All right, Nikki, who you got then? Portland or the Clippers?
Trailblazers.
The jail/Trailblazers.
Yeah, Brandon Roy was good. I loved
Hell
Brandon
yeah,
Roy.
he was.
Hell yeah.
But they're boring.
What
They're all
about Scoot?
borings.
Your boy Scoot Henderson is playing well over there.
But he went to Portland and became boring. He was so excited. You look at all of his highlights and look at his highlights from Portland. Boring.
What about Jeremy Grant?
The Bortland. They're the boring land. Trailblazers.
What if your favorite player in the league went to Portland?
The Portland
He'd be-
Jailblazers.
He'd be boring. He'd be boring. But if Ball went there and he changed.
So
his name
wait,
to boring,
you didn't like
boring.
when Clyde Drexler was there?
That's what I said. He's the most exciting thing in the history. He's the last thing that was exciting for the Trailblazers. I mean, Bill Walton played for him a long time ago. And that's what, 40 years ago Clyde played? My time back in the day. But shit.
Yeah. Trying to think.
What when was the last exciting Portland team that we can wait to see? All these years with Dame have been the same. It's been Dame and nobody. Let's be real.
Dame has been the same. Hey!
Dame has been same Dame. Really good Dame, but with nobody there, I wouldn't want to be there. Plus, what the fuck is in Portland?
Oregon.
Maybe there is cool stuff. I'm not knocking Portland. Tell me, I'm serious. What is in Portland?
I don't know. I wish I could tell you.
I've never been further west than Chicago, so I don't know.
Yeah, for me, it's just like I've never been there, never planned to be.
But seriously, I feel bad for that franchise.
Indiana's my furthest.
Oh, yeah? Oh, wow.
I feel bad for that franchise, Portland. I mean, look at all these years. I mean, they couldn't do it back then with because Mike was hogging up all the titles.
Do you like Yabusele?
Yabba dabba do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
I want
type
him
of player
to start already. I just want him to start.
It's the type of player that can really help a team, man. What's up, Marley?
Hey, Marley, how's it going? I don't know if you saw this, Blaze, but you did get a member earlier.
Yep, so he became a member last night.
Oh, cool.
It's always your next upload or scheduled live stream. It shows who was a member in the previous live stream.
Oh, see, I never knew that.
Yep.
That's kind of cool. Now, let me ask you this. Is there pressure on Halliburton to win a championship? Probably not,
No,
right?
they haven't got up close enough to say. I mean, they're at the verge, but I don't. I think if you ask like the general public, they don't even know who fuck Halliburton is. And I love the guy. I'm telling you, he's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
But I'm
Yeah.
just saying, as a, and he's getting there because he's showing up other places. He's doing other things. He's done, the sports centers and the podcasts and the wrestling and different things here and there. So he's got his face and his name out there. I still think he looks like freaking Humpty Hump. Especially when he wears those big, thick glasses. I have the one picture. I couldn't forget it. I was like,
I know what you mean.
that
I
is
think I
freaking
saw
Humpty
that.
Hump. But I
Yeah.
love him. He's one of my favorite players. I collect his cards. I mean, Halliburton.
You collect every player's cards.
If his first name's Tyrese, yeah.
Yeah. I genuinely believe Blaze McCoy has a smoother jumper than Halliburton.
No. Well, yeah, what's up with all these people changing their jumpers? You see all these people.
Right? I was gonna bring that up, Mikael Bridges.
Like, what are they doing? I don't get it. Like, you should
know
already
who
have
have-
your jumper down if you're a freaking pro already.
You know who's my favorite jump shot? Sean Marion.
Well, who was the short one the Sixers drafted high and they had to get rid of him and send him to Orlando?
Markel Fultz.
Yeah, his jumper was busted.
Yeah.
I mean, if it goes in, it don't matter. What's up, Tiff?
What is up?
Mark
But it's
But,
just like, why are people like, did he need to? Did anyone ask him to change his?
He just
jumper?
was like concerned about a jump shot. I wish I knew.
I mean, like you brought up Sean Marion, there's been people with weird looking jump shots that can still make baskets. I mean, there is a specific way to shoot a jump shot, but yes, everyone has their own variation. And Bill Cartwright used to shoot that thing like this.
Who has the worst jump shot in your opinion of all time? Who has the worst jump shot?
I haven't even thought of it. Who knows? I think his name's
I'm gonna go.
Hitchkovsky, I think his name is.
I'm not. He's not in the league, so I don't think you can judge him. He's not even in the league. Chris Boucher. That's a good one. For me, it's got to be Sean Marion.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to be definitely up there.
I love Sean Marion though. I used to shoot like him back in the day when I was a kid.
You love him. You want to marry him?
Like you want to? Oh my god! Don't
Who
even get me started.
had the worst shooting form of all time? I don't know. That's why I'm asking you.
It's there. You go. See? Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Nick. Don't let this guy bully you until something's wrong.
Yeah, don't do that.
All right,
The worst shooting forms comes up with Shaq, Kawhi Leonard, and Reggie Miller.
Kawhi.
What?
Really?
Yeah. That's
Who's
ridiculous.
after Kawhi?
Bill Cartwright
Yeah.
is fourth. Andre Kirilenko, AK-47. Remember him?
I like. Yep.
Michael Jordan is six. Ben Wallace is seven.
I gotta
Dwight
say
Howard is eight.
that. Yep. Perkins. Your favorite, Kendrick Perkins?
These aren't. I don't think these are in order as well. But Larry Johnson, Glenn Davis, Big Baby, Steve Nash, Jason Kidd, Sean Marion, Robert Horry. He had that weird jump.
Robert Horry, yeah, but his was
Great
money.
six, man.
Rashard Lewis, Tim Duncan, Tony Allen, J.R. Smith.
J.R. Smith had to be high to shoot the ball.
Thank you, ChatGPT.
Hey! I told you that comes in handy.
You're handy.
Thank you.
Yeah, all of them. All of the teams need to do better, Marley. All of them. The ones that have
He
losses.
doesn't even shoot jumpers.
He doesn't shoot jumpers at all.
Who, Paul Reed?
Yeah, he has to have a jumper.
Yeah, but he barely shoots. I'm trying to think. Oh, you know who had a good jump shot? Peja Stojakovic. Dude,
Underrated shooter.
yeah, see. I'm good.
Worst shooters in NBA history. Andre Drummond, number one.
Figures.
Shaq, number two.
Of
Ben
course.
Wallace, number three. Dwight Howard, number four. Rick Barry, number five. Jared Jeffries, number six. Kwame Brown, number
Oh my
seven.
I was waiting for it.
Chris Dudley, number eight. And Michael Olawokandi, number nine. And Darko Milicic.
Darko Milicic, yep.
Yep.
Now, if you're in ChatGPT, you can go add 5 more. and
I
it'll give you
know.
5 more.
I did that last time. Actually asked him
Flag.
for 10 more.
Flag.
I actually asked them for 10 more. And they said Eddie Curry, Isaiah Ryder. I remember him. J.R. Ryder.
Yeah,
Um,
Alexander. Flag.
Anthony Bennett. Remember Anthony Bennett? He was a number
Oh
one.
my
pick for the
God.
Cavs.
Oh my goodness. Trash.
Benno Udrih.
Thank you. Thanks,
Michael
FC.
Olawokandi. He was already on here. You can't put his same name on the list again. Adam
was not
Morrison.
bad.
What happened to him? He was good coming out of college. Adam Morrison, Josh Smith, Kenny Anderson, Mark Madsen, the Madman, and Dikembe Mutombo.
Yeah, probably those that have more losses than wins.
Yes, that's a good. It's a good GOODE answer. That's a good answer, Marley.
Who hasn't won a game yet?
You?
Yeah, my Sixers won a game.
You haven't won any though.
I'm not in the league.
Talk about how terrible Mitch's fantasy football team, basketball team is.
Football
both.
team, I'm not doing good. I'll be honest.
They're both,
Football,
they're both terrible. Let's talk about how bad Mitch is at fantasy everything.
how?
Let's talk about Anthony Davis leading the league in scoring with 32.8 points.
Detroit Pistons are the only team that had nope. Pistons and Utah.
Who do you think the
Nick-
defensive leader is in rebounds right now in the NBA?
Andre Drummond.
He's second. Nikki, you got a guess?
For who?
Rebound leader in the NBA right now per game. He's in the West. I'll give you a hint. Mitch doesn't get a hint.
Okay, he's in the West.
What the hell?
Rebound leader.
I was close though.
You got number 2.
Oh,
Yep, you're
Anthony
number 2.
Davis.
No, Zubac.
figures. Yeah.
He has
that was-
14 rebounds a game. Holmgren with 13. Şengün with 12.5. And Jokic with 12.3. What about assists? This one will make you real happy. Mitch, who do you think the assist leader is right now?
assist leaders.
In the entire NBA per game. Nope, it's not Mitch Kosky, that guy in the picture. Nope, don't take your camera off so you can go Google it or ask ChatGPT.
I'm not googling anything.
ChatGPT in.
So assists.
Assists right now. Harden and Luka, says Nick.
Is it Jokic?
No. Nikki, you got a guess? Top assist leader?
It's got to be Jokic, man.
No, you're wrong.
It's got to be.
He's third. You got number 3. Mitch got number 3. Nikki?
I'm always so close. Hey, look who's here. Halftime.
It's either Harden or Luca.
It's Harden. Nikki
Oh,
wins. Mitch loses. Yay.
Your favorite.
halftime on Pittsburgh full time. What's happening?
Oh, yeah. Who leads in blocks per game?
In blocks per game,
Is that Wemby?
it's
It's either Wemby
Mitch
or Chet.
Kosky.
I'm too short. I'm too short.
It doesn't have. Oh, there it is. Chet Holmgren, 4 a game.
Then who's 2? Wemby?
No, Brook Lopez 3.3 a game. Wemby only has 2.7 a game. Anthony Davis 2.5 and Mobley 2.5.
Nice.
Guess who is the steal leader? Last year, he stole all the lotion and he stole all the tissues. And he went back went back into the locker room.
Jordan Poole?
Yes, he leads the league
No way.
with 3 steals per game.
Jordan Poole.
Yeah. SGA second, tied with 3. Then Dyson Daniel 2.8, Cason Wallace, who I really like, 2.7, and Jimmy Butler 2.3. What about 3-pointers made per game so far? Who do you think's in the top 5?
Buddy Hield?
Yes,
Yeah.
5 per game. He's third.
Why do I always get second or third?
Kyrie.
No.
Kyrie is not in the top 5.
Clay.
One of your favorite Boston players is in it.
Derek White?
Think bench Boston.
Payne Pritchard.
Yeah. And what's his name in the chat? He's in our fantasy league also. He's not goated.
What about LaMelo?
Yes, you got another one. LaMelo Ball. Good job. By accident.
What number is he?
He's 4th. Peyton Pritchard's
Oh,
5. So
Pritchard's 5?
somebody.
So who's
Then
1?
Guess who's number 2?
So who's 1 then?
Guess who's number 2? The same guy who stole all the lotion and all the tissues.
Jordan Poole.
Jordan Poole is second in the league with 3-pointers made per game. He's made 5.3 per game. And number 1, Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, after last night, yeah.
5.3 per game.
I was producing Queens of the Ring and I was watching a game on my monitor.
That's all of them.
Yeah. Wait. Points per game. So who is that?
Anthony Davis.
Assists?
Bucks is rebounds. Harden is assists. Holmgren is blocks. Poole is steals. And Anthony Edwards is 3-pointers. Man, if Jordan Poole just hit 2 more 3-pointers, he'd have 3-pointers too.
What about free throws?
It doesn't say it. I'm just looking at this one graphic here.
It's gotta be free throws. Who
guy
hasn't
named-
made a free throw?
Some guy
Uh,
named Mitch
who's made it-
Kosky.
What, you believe in Mishovsky?
No. Were you trying to kill a fly or something?
No? There was no flies right here. Alright, guys, we're gonna end the show here. Appreciate everyone for tuning in. Stephen Curry's not number 1 in threes. Nope.
Your mom's number 1.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. But yes, guys, make sure you hit that like, hit that sub. I'll be live with Philly halftime for the game. I'm gonna be a little late, so halftime will be starting the show without me. So, yep, and Nikki will be live seeing the NFL Pick'ems at 7:00. I think TRL is supposed to be hosting it, but
I
if
got a
he's not,
dog.
Nikki got it.
I got a dog in my hand.
Why not? Why not? The hell?
Taco Bell.
I don't like Taco Bell. All right, on that note, guys, we'll catch you all later. Have a good one.
All right.
Have a good one, guys. Peace.